year since my last bookshelf tour, and things have definitely changed around here, and I kind of want to keep it a tradition that every new year I show you guys my bookshelves just so that I can have something to look back on and see just how much they've changed and evolved and transformed and become something that I never would have imagined even possible. I'm like really happy with how my shelves are looking at the moment, except for like that one shelf that I will talk to you guys about, and I will be asking for tips and tricks into how I can make it better. But overall, every time that I look at my bookshelves, I am filled with this sense of joy and happiness and, I don't know, satisfaction, because it's just such a great portrayal of my personality and everything that I like and everything that makes me who I am. So I am so just very excited to talk to you guys about my bookshelves and just everything that's new, basically. Like, there have been a couple of new additions. If you've seen my previous bookshelf reorganization, then you know that I had like these, can you see it? I've had like these add-ons. They were not there before. Like, they do not come with the original Billy bookshelves, because the normal Billy bookshelves, which are the ones that I have, they only have 6 shelves, but these have 7 because I bought add-ons, which is something that you can do, by the way. Somebody on my YouTube comments actually let me know about this fact, and that was incredible because I don't have space for another entire bookshelf, but I was running out of space. So this is an incredible, what's that word, like fix? This is an incredible solution to a very nice problem to have. But anyways, yeah, I'm just really excited for this bookshelf tour, my 2024 updated bookshelf tour. Hello, oh my god, I haven't said hello. Hello, my friends, welcome back. Or if you're new here, welcome to your new favorite place on the internet. My name's Bella, and as you can see, I read a couple of books from time to time, and I also love collecting them, and I also love sharing them with you guys. So today I just want to go through my bookshelves and talk about little knickknacks, little stories that I may have about random books, and just share this part of my life with you guys. Honestly, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you giving me the time of your day and just spending it with me. That really means a lot to me. So if you have any questions, any suggestions, please leave them down below. I would love to read through them. I always say this, but like, my favorite part of uploading videos is just talking to you guys in the comments. So if you have anything to say, anything at all, leave them all down below and I will be sure to reply to you. I will try my very best. And I literally don't have anything else to say. Like, I really just want to go through my shelves and talk to you guys about them. So I think without further ado, let's get this 2024 bookshelf tour on the road. Wait, is it on the road? Like, let's just get this started, okay? Let's get this started. This is like a general overview of all of my shelves. I have a total of 5 shelves. They're all the Billy bookshelves. Now we're going to go through every single bookshelf, and I'm just going to talk to you guys about books, the new organized system. Let's get into it. So this is the very first shelf. This is a general overview of how they look. Yeah, it's basically mostly fantasy books, if we're being honest. Compared to last year's bookshelf tour, nothing really has changed in these first 2 bookshelves, because it's basically all of my Cassandra Clare books, and I haven't really bought another Cassandra Clare book to add to my collection, so they just really, they look the same, okay? It's the Mortal Instruments, the short story collections, the Mortal Instruments once again, but like the paperback editions. Then we have Clockwork Angel, what are you called? The Dark Artifices, and then, oh my god, I am like so bad at naming these trilogies because there are so many, but like, you know these books. I do want to show just how many tabs, like, that's insane actually. Look at how many tabs these books have. I don't think this one has that many compared to Chain of Iron, because Chain of Iron was like absolutely out of this world insane. Chain of Gold, yeah, like the amount of tabs that I've used for Cassandra Clare books is actually insane. I don't think I've ever shown you just how tabbed this trilogy is. So let's start with Lady Midnight. Look at that. Look at that. That's okay. That's basic. Look at Lord of Shadows. You know, it's a little bit unkempt, it's a little bit disastrous, but it's still okay. But please don't fall, baby girl. But then look at this, okay? Like, look at Queen of Air in Darkness. That's just absolutely insane to me. Yeah, Cassandra Clare takes a lot of my tabs away from me. Moving on to my Sarah J. Maas shelf. These are also some of my most annotated books ever. I still have this gorgeous print of Crescent City because I love them so much. And I still have this candle that I cannot focus, on. I still have this candle that I can't bring myself to burn because I love them so much and I never want to think of this candle ever like burning out on me. But yeah, let me just show you, not this, we do not speak of this book, but let me show you how many tabs. That's absolutely preposterous. Like, oh my god, that is disgusting, but I love it. I love it so much. Oh, I do have another book behind this because I cannot fit both of them. Not me not annotating this. The difference between these two books is insane to me. I didn't even realize that. The way that I loved this book. I don't know why I didn't annotate it. I think it's because I read it for a challenge and I was more focused on reading than annotating. Regrets have been felt. Probably one of my most heavily annotated books and one of the books that I've reread the most. I think I've read A Court of Mist and Fury like 6 times. I'm not even kidding, my dude. Like, I was fully whipped for A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. And yeah, like, yeah, this is one of those books that has so many favorite moments of mine, and like it just completely rewired my entire brain chemistry, and there were so many moments that made me cry and made me bawl my eyes out. It was incredible, actually. Thank you so much. Maybe I should reread it again now that I think about it. Moving on to my basically danmei shelf with a couple of extra books here and there. We have a couple of duologies and this random middle grade series that I really don't have anywhere else to put, so it's going there. And then of course my beloved Foxhole trilogy that I can no longer have on display because I really need, like I really need this cover of Heaven Official's Blessing to be on display. I also have this cute little standee that came with the special edition of volume 8. And I just have like a couple of knickknacks belonging to Heaven Official's Blessing. I also have Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. These are also Heaven Official's Blessing, but they're in Chinese. Look at that. Oh my god, that's absolutely stunning. They are in Chinese, but they are gorgeous on the inside. And these were a gift from Alor. So Alor, if you're, oh my god, look at that. Okay, Alor, if you're watching, I love you so much. And then these are other danmei series. Yeah, this one is complete, but this one I've only read the very first one. I do want to continue, I just don't know when I will get to it. But I'm still reeling from the fact that I finished Heaven Official's Blessing, so I think I need like a little period to mourn all that I've lost because I really miss them and I really love them. So yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite covers of the entire series. I don't know if you can tell, but I just really love the colors, okay? Love the colors, love everything about it. And then moving on to this shelf, which is basically just, you know, just YA fantasy. The Raven Cycle, which is 4 books. Then we have the Avatar books, which are basically 2 duologies, 2 books following Kyoshi and then 2 books following Yang Chen. I loved both, okay? Both were incredible. Both were either 4.5 or 5 stars, so like, they slayed. And then we have the Shatter Me trilogy, which then turned into like a full-on series that I like to pretend that these books don't exist because they are so bad. Like, okay, listen, they're not bad, but compared to the first trilogy, it's like it didn't give, okay? It left me wanting so much more, and it kind of ruined what the first 3 books did for me. So I like to pretend that they don't exist, and that's how I'm going to keep on living my life. And then my Harry Potter shelf, which hasn't really changed much from the last time that you saw it. If you're wondering who I got in the Chocolate Frog, I'm all for supporting women and whatnot, but like I have never heard of her before. So yeah, I don't, like, yeah, I love women, but I would have preferred another character that I actually knew. Anyways, moving on to basically my dystopian fantasy books. We have The Darkest Minds, we have Angel Fall, We have The Hunger Games, Vampire Academy, and Bloodlines. These were my bread and butter for years. I lived and breathed these books. These were incredible. I will never forget the experience that they gave me. I was never the same person after I read these books. This is an overview of my second bookshelf, which is basically just more fantasy books. Honestly, like, I just have so many fantasy books, and I also have my favorites shelf here and my Percy Jackson shelf. So it's a very special bookshelf for me. It's filled with books that I adore. So let's get into it. Starting strong with my Percy Jackson shelf, we of course have basically most of Rick Riordan's series. I don't have the Kane Chronicles, but I'm not really that interested in it. And I also do not have the latest Percy Jackson and the Olympians book. I will get to it soon, but I haven't been able to get it like physically, so that's a problem. But I do love that all of my Avatar Funko Pops are here. One thing that has changed, and I will never forgive my sister for this, is she killed Momo. Yes, she did. She did that. She still hasn't bought me a new one. I don't know what's up with that. But that was, you know, unforgivable. I still kind of hold it a little bit over her head, and every time that we meet, I'm kind of like, is today when you're going to reimburse me for my broken Funko Pop? But it never is. Anyways, yeah, this is basically my Percy Jackson shelf. Nothing has changed. I just love it. I love Sutara together. I love Uncle Iroh. I just love everything about it. Literally zero complaints. Every time that I look at this shelf, it just brings me so much happiness and serotonin. Yeah, I don't want to change anything about it, except maybe not have a dead Momo on my hands, but yeah. Moving on to my favorites shelf, which is, I don't know if that's like the proper name for it, because there are a couple of books here. I wouldn't die for them. Like, I really loved them, but I don't know if I'd call them a favorite. But anyways, yeah, we just have a couple of books that when I read them completely altered my brain chemistry, and I will forever love them for that. I also have a letter that was written to me and sent to me, and it was full of stickers and a lovely note, and I loved it so much. Oh my god, I could show you Babel, because it's also a very heavily, oh my god, look at that. It's also a very heavily annotated book that I adore just looking at, because it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. And yeah, like, what else can I say? Of course, my Addie LaRue shrine still hasn't changed. I haven't gotten any new Addie LaRue copies, so we're good on that. But yeah, I just love my little collection of knickknacks that I've received in like different boxes and stuff. So yeah, this is a nice shelf. I like this shelf. It works for me. It makes me happy, and that's all that matters. All right, so moving on to what used to be my V.E. Schwab shelf, but which has been slowly turning into just, you know, more fantasy books. So I do still have like my little Dany shrine and my Darker Shade of Magic stack, and all of my V.E. Schwab books, of course, but then I also have these books, which are Ariadne, Circe, and Evocation, Book of Night by Holly Black as well. Like, yeah, it's turning into something else. It's not only solely V.E. Schwab now, which I'm totally okay with, because honestly, the last couple of V.E. Schwab books that I've read haven't really been hitting it for me. So like, I'm okay with her not being a favorite author anymore. This will never not be one of my most iconic shelves, with my Six of Crows cards and my Six of Crows display. Like, there's just so much to love about this shelf, and I love all of the spines and how they look together. It's just very, very aesthetically pleasing to me. I just love staring at this shelf. I think one of my favorite things of reorganizing my shelves, no matter how long it takes, is that when you finally get it right, every time that you look at it, it fills you with this sense of rightness. Not Alexa ruining this moment. It just fills you with this sense of rightness, and it just feels so good to look at these shelves. So yeah, I'm really happy with this shelf. I'm literally never going to change it. I am getting that itch of rereading Six of Crows, because, you know, I'm still not over the fact that it was canceled, like the Netflix show was canceled, so I might have to reread it. And I don't know, like, I need my Six of Crows fix. So yeah, that's probably going to be happening soon. And then moving on to this shelf, which used to be my white fantasy books, but as you can see, I had to make a couple of, what's that word, like, not excuses, but like Exceptions, thank you so much. I had to make a couple of exceptions because obviously the Cruel Prince trilogy, it wasn't helping, okay? So yeah, most of the books are white, but then we also have these books, which are The Serpent and the Wings of Night and The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and then Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. And yeah, nothing much has changed here except for those 3 new editions. But yeah, it's giving, okay? I love this shelf as well. No complaints from my part. The Cruel Prince will always be on display because it's one of my favorite trilogies. I'm so sorry if that makes me basic, but I'm actually not sorry because it brings me so much happiness. So like, to each their own, you know what I mean? And then moving on to even more fantasy books. At this point, it's all fantasy here. We have a cute little stack of what used to be like old school YA fantasy. We have, oh my god, ¿cómo se llama esa trilogía? It's like the Young Elites trilogy, sure. And that's like the first trilogy that I read that had a villain as a main character, or like not villain, but like a morally gray character. And that's when my eyes were opened because I read that book and I was so confused. I was like, am I supposed to be rooting for the bad guy here? And ever since then, it's just like my morals they've been questioned so much. I think that's where my love for morally gray characters began. Yeah, so it's a very defining trilogy for me. And then of course, the trilogy of Mara Dyer, which I read these in like 9th grade, and they were so confusing to me because they were so scary. And again, this character, she's not like all there. Like she's a little bit delusional, but she's like delusional before it was cool to be Delulu. So yeah, it was a very interesting experience as well. It would be kind of interesting to reread them now with everything that I've read because maybe I would love her more. But anyways, we also have just, you know, a collection of amazing, incredible books. We have my Leaning Tower of Pisa that I like to pretend is the Babel Tower just so that I can put them side to side and pretend that I specifically got that tower because of Babel, even though that's not the truth, but it just looks like it slays. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like she ate. The last shelf on this bookshelf is just this collection of books. You know what I mean? It's like fantasy, and then there's like a segue into science fiction. And as you can see, I don't have that many science fiction books because science fiction is not my favorite genre. This is something that I've spoken about a lot, and I have tried different science fiction books and they just never hit. But I do remember loving the Illuminae files. It was an entire trip because it's like this entire story that's told through mixed media, and I just found it so creative and unique, and it was my first experience reading something like that. So yeah, I have great memories with the Illuminae files, and of course the Lux series will forever live in my heart, even though it's like trashy, but like I love it. And yeah, that's pretty much this bookshelf in its entirety. It's probably one of my not this angle, I hate it. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite shelves just because it's chock full of books that I love and adore and look so good together. So yeah, anyways, now we have to focus on my rainbow shelf, which hasn't gone through that many changes. But there are a couple of changes that I would love to talk to you guys about. So let's get this started. So starting with my red shelf, we of course have Tata here. I wish I had Chimmy with him here, but he's obviously yellow, so he doesn't fit the aesthetic. But in my heart, Chimmy and Tata will forever be together. And I think I mentioned this before, but like this is a little envelope that I got when I went to Taiwan. Inside here we have like, oh, okay, so it's just like tickets from the things that I saw in Taiwan. So obviously you're not even focused. Like the Jujutsu Kaisen exhibition, the Junji Ito, is this, how do I, sure, it's like the Junji Ito exposition as well. What is this? I actually, oh, this is the Taipei 101, which again was a very good experience. This is a photo booth that I got with a friend that I met over there at the Junji Ito exhibition, and like, that was like our first day meeting and it was adorable. I love her so much. That was very cute. I don't know if you guys wanted to see that, but I showed it to you anyways, so I hope you don't mind. I do have this cute bookmark, but I don't really use it as a bookmark because I think it just looks prettier here. Ay, perdón. Okay, I know this is upside, not this. Everything is falling apart. I just want you to, there we go. Okay, so this was the red shelf. I don't really think we need to see anything else here because not much has changed. And then moving on to my orange shelf, of course my Todoroki figurine, like one of my all-time favorites. I love him to death. I will protect him with my entire heart. Not much has changed with this shelf from 1 year ago either, but I did add the girl with all the gifts because it's kind of orangish. So it matches the shelf, matches the aesthetic. That's what I love to see. Moving on to my yellow, oh my god, look at that contrast of colors though. I'm living for that, shut up. Not me being obsessed with my own shelves. Okay, here of course we have the Coraline Funko Pop, which is never going to miss. Like, I love her so much. Coraline is a movie that I could watch over and over and over again, and I have, and I will continue to do so. Yeah, we still have my graduation tassel. Like, it's a vibe, okay? I adore this shelf. Even though I don't really adore Priory of the Orange Tree, it's just like, it looks so pretty displayed. So like, why wouldn't I? And then of course, one of my favorite pins is this Vincent van Gogh one that I got in Miami. And then my green shelf. Ugh, just look at her. We have Toph. My friend did, like when my friend saw my shelf, he was like, it's so sad that Toph is separated from the rest of the gang. And I was like, I'm so sorry, but like she matches the green shelf. I'm so sorry. Like, she needs to be here. It's okay. They'll find each other once again. It's all right. A couple of new additions actually. We have Shark Heart, which is a book that I recently read in my most recent reading challenge, and it absolutely destroyed me. I don't want to talk about it, but I loved it. Even though it doesn't really match the green tones that I have going on here, it's still like I needed to put it here. And then there is one book that I have hiding behind the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo because I don't really want to see it. You know what I mean? I don't really want to see it, but I still want to own it because it's an experience that I had, but I don't necessarily want to be reminded of said experience every time I look at my shelves. And that book is 100 años de soledad. 100 años de soledad de Gabriel García Márquez. I was challenged to read 100 años de soledad, and let's just say I completed the challenge, but at what cost? Moving on to my light blue shelf, which was actually a recent addition ever since I got the new add-on shelves because, you know, I can't really add a new color to the rainbow, but apparently I could, so I did that. And we do have some incredible books here. Of course, we have not this one. We have Remarkably Bright Creatures. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, which I would actually really like to reread because I remember that I related a lot to the portrayal of anxiety. So I would really like to reread this one. And of course, Kiki's Delivery Service. I'm a very big Studio Ghibli fan. If you didn't know that, well, now you do. And we have Beautiful World, Where Are You? Tin Man, of course. And This Is How You Lose the Time War. Absolutely stunning. And of course, we have my light blue Polaroid to match said aesthetic. So it's a very cute shelf. I kind of like that it's kind of like a bright pop of color, and it's a great segue into my blue shelf. It just kind of slays, you know what I mean? Like, I love this shelf, and it just has so many of the things that I love. Like, I have this candle, which was a gift from a subscriber, and I still have not burned it because it's so beautiful. I don't ever want it to, I don't ever want it to end. Like, look at how stunning that is. O sea, como así? You know what I mean? Like, I would never want to, oh my god, that's gorgeous. We also have a Funko Pop of The Corpse Bride, and we do have this puzzle piece from the Harry Styles concert that I went to last year. Oh my god, last year? Oh my god, that's crazy. Shut up. I'm not gonna talk about that. And I think behind here, I actually have another book. I don't really know which one it is though. Out of sight, out of mind, you know what they say? Oh my god, it's Daughter of Smoke and Bone. Okay, let me explain. I already have the hardcover edition. Like, I don't need to have the paperback. The reason that I keep this paperback edition is because this is one of the very first times that somebody gifted a book to me, like out of nowhere. It was just like a random day, and my friend came up to me and she was like, I really hope you like this. I've heard amazing things about it, and I know you like reading, so like maybe give it a try and tell me what you think. And it even has like this really cute note on the inside. And I don't know, like this moment just lives rent-free in my mind. Like it just really meant a lot to me. I got it 2015. Oh my god, maybe she gave it to me for Valentine's Day. That is so romantic. Shut up. Okay, so anyways, yeah, it really means a lot to me, so that's why I haven't gotten rid of it. I probably never will get rid of it, so yeah. Then we have my purple shelf, and again, nothing really has changed in this shelf. We still have the same collection of books. We have my Lunar Chronicles mixed in with The Girl Who Drank the Moon, and a random Heroes of Olympus book because it just did not fit in my Rick Riordan shelf. So we make it work, okay? We really do make it work. So that's basically my middle colored rainbow shelf. I really just adore her, and I don't know, I just really like how it looks when it's all put together. And now let's move on to this shelf, which is a little bit more confusing just because it has a very special collection of books. They're very different, but they work for me, and that's what matters. So let's get this started. Starting strong with my classics shelf, we just have every single one of my Penguin edition classics and the Secret History. I do not have my unread Penguin classics here because I was supposed to put them here, but they just don't fit because I have like 5 unread Penguin classics. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. My most recent read classic is Demons by Dostoevsky. Look at that. It's gorgeous, okay? It's gorgeous. It's more gorgeous than the actual book itself. No tea, no shade, but like, yeah, yeah. No words for what this was, but I'm glad I read it, okay? I don't regret reading it, and that's what matters. Also, one thing that I really want to talk to you guys about is the fact that I finally reread The Secret History. I reread it with my Patreons. I have an entire vlog dedicated to it, but the thing that I want to tell you guys is that I finally, oh my god, look at that. I finally fixed the tabs. I don't know if you remember how they looked on my previous bookshelf tour, but they were disgusting, and I kept telling you guys I really want to reread it so that I can fix it, and I did. I fixed it, and it looks gorgeous. It looks stunning. It's literally everything that I pictured in my head, and I just, yeah, this was a good decision. I'm so happy that I got to reread it and like document my experience. And then I just have this little bust of this man. I think that's like a Mozart. I could be so, I think it's Mozart. I think it's Mozart, but I could be wrong. So if you know who this man is, let me just get a close-up real quick. My beloved, love you so much, baby boy. Miss you. Wish I could go back to the time before I read you so that I could experience you all over again. Moving on to my second set of classics. These are like my eclectic editions. You know, they don't really match with one another, but they are still classics and they still give. Okay, they give. Wait, I don't know if I ever showed you my finished Anna Karenina copy. I've missed saying Anna Karenina. I'm probably gonna get a couple of people in the comments being like, that's not how you say Anna Karenina. But I mean, you guys tell me in like a very polite way, so thank you for that. I just really struggle with saying names, okay? Like, it's not my forte. But anyways, this is the finish. Oh my god. I forgot just how heavily annotated this was. How could I forget such a thing? Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. Shut up. And like the color palette, like what was I thinking? I'm a genius. Oh my god, I love myself. Like, past me knew what she was doing. This is absolutely gorgeous. So there we go. Fantastic, stunning. Moving on to this shelf, which again has gone through a couple of changes. The books, we have a couple of different books that are turned that are turned backwards. So I thought we could just like quickly go through each one. Just in case you were curious, you know, if you're not, you can skip ahead, but I personally would like to know, so like future Bella knows what books were here, and I won't have to guess. First and foremost, we do have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabriel Zevin on display, just because it's a very gorgeous cover, okay? The book isn't a 5 out of 5 star, but I do love what it brings to the table, you know what I mean? Anyways. If Cats Disappeared from the World, iconic book. It made me cry. Ay, espérate, amiga, no me haga eso. After If Cats Disappeared, we have The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Then we have The Essential Roomie, which again is so heavily annotated, so many wonderful poems. It's a slay, honestly. All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. Oh, such a great book. I miss when I used to be obsessed with Mariana Zapata, but then she went ahead and wrote like some very questionable books that I would rather not talk about. So then we have A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. Du Maurier? Yes, Rebecca. I won't hesitate. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, another icon. We have Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. Oh, you can't even see it. Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. And then I think this is Scythe. You can't even see the books anymore, but this is Scythe, which is a very good trilogy if I do say so myself. This is such a colorful shelf now that I look at it like this. But anyways, here we have Mary Oliver's Why is this book here? This should be in my favorites shelf because Devotions literally changed my life. Like, I love this book. You don't understand how much I love this book. This should be in my favorites shelf. Anyways, Devotions by Mary Oliver. We have In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. Stunning. We have Culty. We have Culty by Mariana Zapata. I should reread this book. I remember... Cállate! Sorry, not you, it's the bird. But I remember loving Culty. And I only read it once, so maybe I should read it again. We have I Want to Die, but I Want to Eat the Wookiee. Very relatable phrase. A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahara Mafi. This is The Poet X, not you not being focused. The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. Then we have An Ember in the Ashes. This, of course, is another copy because if you've been paying attention, which I hope you have, if you haven't, it's okay, we can go back. I do have like the hardcover edition of An Ember in the Ashes, but this is like the very first edition that I got, and it was sent to me by Penguin. So it means a lot to me. It's like, you know, it was like one of those moments where you're like, oh my god, people know who I am. So anyways, then we have Bridge of Clay, yes, by Marcus Suzak. This final book, I think it's Cleopatra and Frankenstein. Ay, qué lindo. Like, it's such a gorgeous cover in its simplicity and like the colors and the typography, the usage of like, I don't know, like I love this cover. I wish I loved the book the same amount that I love the cover, but I don't. Let's move on to my pink shelf. Yes indeed, this still is a thing. I do love pink, and I do love how my pink shelf looks. So we have a couple, this should also be on my favorites shelf. Shut up. What have I been thinking? Anyway, okay, I put it here because of the, you know, the little pink to purple gradient. I really do love this book. Not Anna and the French Kiss. I really do love this book. And I remember that this is one of those that I DIY'd the edges. Like, I spray painted this myself, and it was so nerve-wracking, but it really adds to the entire just like book aesthetic. And I remember I did this because there was like this special edition that came out and it had the black edges, and I was like, okay, I don't have money for a special edition, so I'm gonna make my own special edition. Yeah, you have to make it work, okay? And I did, and I just love how it looks, okay? I did a fantastic job, if I do say so myself. So yeah, Daisy Jones and the Six, Anna and the French Kiss. Oh my god, that was a moment for me. The Astonishing Color of After, which again is a book that I've read like 4 or 5 times, and it makes me cry every single time. I'm not proud of that, but yeah. The Bright Test. Is there any book that I kind of... Oh, I do have a book behind this one just because I don't really have anywhere else to put it. Not because I didn't like it, but just because I don't know where else I could put it. And it is Florence Welch's Useless Magic, Lyrics and Poetry. It's a slay, honestly. I read it with my sister and we had so much fun because we're both big Florence and the Machine fans. So it was an entire experience and I loved it. No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai is a recent edition. Well, not that recent, but it's a little bit recent, and I loved it. Like, it's very harrowing and it's very depressing, but it's not as depressing as I thought it would be. But it's still very depressing. And it deals with very serious topics. So if you're not ready to read books like that, I do not recommend it. But if you're looking for like a harrowing reading experience, I would recommend No Longer Human. And then we just have a couple of lighter pinks, you know, just living their best life. I do have this little lady accompanying me. Actually, is it a lady? Why am I? You know what? Let's not. And this isn't even actually a book. This is like a Polaroid album with just a bunch of pictures. So yeah, I lied. This isn't actually a book. It just looks like one. Anyways, moving on to basically my romance shelf. I don't have that many romances because I've come to realize that I prefer reading my romance digitally. I don't know why, it's just kind of happened. But I do have my Heartstopper books. I'm still missing volume 5, but I'm very, very excited to get it. We have more Mariana Zapata, we have Jenny Han, we have Emily Henry. Oh, my bread and butter, Emily Henry. I'm never getting Happy Place. That's like the one book that I did not like of hers, but everything else, oh my god. Especially book lovers. Oh my god, can we? Okay, I'm gonna show you just how heavily annotated they are because I did reread these last year, so I added a couple of more annotations. I still have yet to reread Book Lovers, but let me just show you Beach Read. Oh, look at that. It's absolutely stunning. I love her. Okay, and then People We Meet on Vacation. Oh, look! That is absolutely insane. Oh, I love it. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's gorgeous. And then Book Lovers. This is not the final product, but you know, as you can see, it's missing a couple of tabs. You know what I mean? Like, I was not on my A game when I read Book Lovers, but I will be once I reread it. What is this? Oh, I already put the bookmark. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready to reread that baby. But anyways, yeah, I really wanted to show you guys those books because, okay, I'm gonna put you on later. I really wanted to show you guys those books because I love showing off my annotated editions. They look so lovely to me and I just love sharing them with you guys. So moving on to this shelf, which is kind of like, okay, we have a love-hate relationship with this shelf. I'm including you guys in this statement because I need you to feel what I'm feeling, okay? It's not that I hate this shelf, it's just that there's so much going on and I don't know how to fix it. But because, okay, we have memoirs, and then we have literary fiction, and then we have Japanese literature, and then we have collection of short stories, and then we have like, I guess, magical realism, sure. And then we have like a little bit of collection of letters, and then we have like, this is historical fiction, and then more poetry, and it's like, girl, there's so many genres here. And I'm not like completely obsessed with what's going on. So if you guys could help me out, like actually I'm genuinely asking for your help. What do you think I should do with this shelf? Because I do have these two on display, not this. I do have these two books on display and I love them. I really do love them. I love my little Japanese literature section because all of these books, oh look at that. All of these books have been wonderful. What you're looking for is in the library. I read it in December and I really needed that. You know what I mean? Like it was such a comfort and it just felt like being hugged while I was reading this book. And also Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. It was just exactly what I needed to read at the time that I read it. Sweet Bean Paste as well. I cried my eyes out. Like Japanese literature knows what's up. You know what I mean? Like they know what's up. But I don't, like there's just something como que algo no me cuadra, and I don't know what it is. So like if you could help me out, I would really appreciate that actually. It's a shelf, okay? It's a collection of books that maybe work together, but then again maybe they don't. And I would really appreciate some help, some guidance, some tips, some tricks, because I am at a loss for what to do. A new addition is The Heart's Invisible Furies, which again is a book that I'm not really ready to talk about. I mean, I did talk about it on my reading vlog, but it was a very emotional reading experience, okay? And it kind of makes sense that it's next to The Kite Runner because The Kite Runner broke me, okay? It literally broke me. I was on FaceTime with a friend of mine, and she had to see me bawl my eyes out. And she was reading the same book that I was, but I was a little bit ahead of her. So she was like, am I going to be okay? So it was an experience for sure. Yeah, It's just, this is a shelf that needs a little bit of love, and I don't know how to give it to her. So help me out. Thank you. And then the last shelf on this bookshelf is my book of the month books that I have loved and adored, and I will always love and adore, especially Thistlefoot and Starling House. Like, I am obsessed with these two babies, and also the Anthropocene Reviewed, the Hacienda. Like, yes, like, they gave so much, and I was so open to receiving. It was fantastic. And then the final shelf that I have to show you guys is my manga shelf, which honestly, like, I will never get tired of saying this. This is one of my absolute favorite bookshelves. Like, it's just filled with so many things that I love and adore and that have shaped me as a person. Literally 80% of my personality comes from this bookshelf. It's just crazy how much I love this shelf. So let's get right on into it because I have thoughts. This will never change, but like the very first shelf includes my Fullmetal Alchemist collection. If you're new here, you may not know the fact that Fullmetal Alchemist was my very first anime and my very first manga. Well, actually not my very first anime because that was probably Cardcaptor Sakura. But yeah, okay, my very first manga and like fully first anime experience, it was Fullmetal Alchemist. So this series will forever hold like the most special place in my heart. It has meant so much to me, and obviously it opened the floodgates for what the rest of my life was going to become. So Fullmetal Alchemist, just like nothing will ever take away its #1 spot. But something that is coming very, very close to taking the #1 spot is One Piece. Okay, like I just need to say it, okay? I need to be so real right now. One Piece has taken up so much, not only of my physical bookshelf space, but like also my mental space. My brain space is so filled with One Piece trivia, One Piece thoughts, One Piece characters, One Piece fun facts. Like, it's insane the amount of time that I spend thinking and watching and reading One Piece. I literally started my year reading, I think it was like 16 or like, I don't know, some insane number of omnibus volumes because it was the only thing that brought me comfort when I needed it the most. So best believe that my emotional attachment to One Piece it's literally just insane at this moment in time. And as you can see, I have a couple of Funko Pops, just a couple. We of course have Luffy. This isn't like an official Funko Pop, it's just like a little figurine. And he's just so happy. I love him. He's usually at my desk, but it kind of feels weird to have 4 different Funko Pops and none of them being of Luffy, which is the captain of the Straw Hats. So I was like, nah, I need to fix this. Until I can get like the official Luffy Funko Pop, I need to have a Luffy stand-in. But he's usually sitting at my desk, in case you were wondering. So this is my One Piece collection. As you can see, I'm collecting the omnibus volumes because I felt that collecting the individual volumes would be a lot more expensive, and obviously it would take up a lot more space. Yeah, right now, as you can see, I just have stack, 2 volumes, stack, 3 volumes, another stack, because it's literally so many volumes. This is the only way that I could find that would fit all of the volumes that I currently own. And in case you're wondering, my collection is nearly complete. I'm only missing, okay, I'm missing volume 28, which includes volumes 82, 83, 84. And then I'm also missing volume 30, which includes volumes 88, 89, and 90. And then after that, I could just read all of these, which is something that I'm really looking forward to. But in case you didn't know, I'm currently on a book buying ban, so I can't really get those volumes right now, but I will. It's gonna happen, okay? 2024 is the year for One Piece, so it's gonna happen. But let me just really quickly show you my Funko Pops because I adore them. I have, of course, I have Boa Hancock, which is, yeah, she's my role model. She's like everything to me. I love her. She deserves more screen time. I said what I said. We also have Zoro, you know, just living his best life. What can I say? We have Chopper, and listen, like, okay, I just love him. And yeah, it was really cute because I remember this was a gift, and the note said, it was a gift from Mary, which is the person that like got me the very first volume of One Piece. So like she started all of this, but she sent me this Funko Pop, and the note, obviously she sent it to me when I was recovering, and she was like, here's Chopper so that he can help you in your recovery process, you know, because he is a doctor. And I was like, that note meant the entire world to me. Not gonna lie, I did tear up a little bit, but just because I'm a very emotional person, which is very uncharacteristic of me since I am a Capricorn. But anyways, yeah, this just means a lot to me, and every time that I see it, I smile because it just means the world to me. So Mary, if you're watching, I love you. And then of course, Robin. We have Robin here because like my collection would not be complete without a Robin figurine, just because I love her so much. I also have this dollar that my friend found while he was in Paris, and he was like, wait, you like One Piece, right? And I was like, I like it a little bit. And he was like, who's your favorite character? And I was like, well, it's Robin at the time. And he was like, okay, that's cool information to know. And then he sent me this and I screamed. I have not stopped screaming actually, but yeah. So that's my One Piece collection. I recently read these 2 volumes, and these are the Dressrosa arc, basically. And yeah, like, yes, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. Moving on to my next shelf, which includes my Demon Slayer collection and my Spy Family collection. You know what I mean? Like, I love what's happening here because I did include like these panels of Demon Slayer that I just thought slayed. You know what I mean? Like, they look so good, and I thought it would look even better if I pasted them like in this corner. And it just gives it so much oomph. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even describe how good it looks. And it's made me kind of go insane because I now want to do it for every single one of my shelves. But we'll see how that happens. Anyways, we do have this volume on display. I think this is volume 8. Yeah, because like, I mean, come on now. And then we do have Tanjiro and Nezuko Funko Pops because like they need to be together. We do have my, what's this, were earrings? Yes. And then we do have this keychain, which was actually a gift from one of you guys. I know that he doesn't belong on this series, obviously. He's from Skate to Infinity, so like I know he doesn't belong here, but I love him so much, and it's like really, ¿cómo se dice eso? Like sensible, es muy delicate, so I don't want to use it in case it breaks. But yeah, as you can see, we have a couple of cool panels in the background, and it just like slays, you know what I mean? Like, it's so good. And then next to it, we have my Spy Family collection. This I got in a Spy Family exhibition that I went to, and it was so cute. It was adorable. And it came with like this little thing. I don't know, like I just love it. I only have up until volume 10, but I am getting volume 11 soon. Like at the same time that I get the volumes that I'm missing here, I will be getting volume 11. And then I do have this, you know, just water bottle with Haikyuu stickers that a friend made for me. Even though Spy Family has nothing to do with Haikyuu, I still love this water bottle. And I don't know, it just makes me happy every time that I look at it. So why wouldn't I include it on this shelf? You know what I mean? Moving on to my next shelf, we have Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. What can I say? Like literally nothing has changed except that I got a couple of new volumes from Jujutsu Kaisen. I do have my Sukuna figurine, just like he's giving it everything. Like he's, oh my goodness, I am obsessed with him. We also have my tiny Jujutsu Kaisen figurines, and yeah, like it's a vibe. I will always have this cover on display because it's one of my absolute favorites. I love the combination of colors. And I love like the pink and the blue and the purple. Are you kidding me? That's like, oh my god, I will never get tired of seeing this cover. This is a card that I got in the Jujutsu Kaisen exhibition that I showed you guys the ticket of when we were in the red shelf. So yeah, when you entered, you had the chance to just pick a random card, and I, of course, got this one. I am not mad about it though because I love her. And then we have my Chainsaw Man collection. I only have up until volume 12, but again, when I get volume 11 and when I get the other 2 volumes that I'm missing, I am getting volume 13. So like, do not fret. I do love Chainsaw Man, and I also love that I have Sally here because she's not technically a demon, but she kind of fits the aesthetic, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we have my Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen living harmoniously together. Moving on to my Attack on Titan shelf. Oh my god, can you guys believe that there is no more anime? There's literally no more episodes to look forward to. Like, it was so You know, it was kind of annoying how the specials kept getting delayed and they kept getting separated into different parts, and there's like part 1 of part 2 of part 3 of part 7. But now that we don't have anything to complain about, it kind of feels like there's something missing. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but anyways, this is my entire Attack on Titan collection, and I also have this lovely Attack on Titan No Regrets, which is like this special short story of Levi's backstory, so that's why I have Levi here. Stunning, amazing. I also have him next to Mikasa because obviously, and then I have such an iconic Funko Pop. Just look at him strutting. Oh, look at that bun. Yes. Oh, absolutely slayed. This was such a great purchase. And then just him. Okay, just him. No words. Literally no words. I love this shelf. Like, I love it so much. I will never shut up about how much I love it. Quite literally stunning. Imagine how it's gonna look with all the like, I can already see it and I'm getting excited. Before we can do that, we do need to finish this bookshelf tour, so let's move on to my Junji Ito shelf, which is basically just horror manga at this point. Nothing much has changed except that I got a couple of new Junji Itos, and I also read Orochi by Kazuo Umez, so that's a new addition to my horror manga collection. Of course, again, if you're new here, I'm like one of the biggest Junji Ito fans. I love reading everything that he comes out with. Some of his stories are so horrifying that they keep me up at night. Some of his stories, they hit too close to home and they like feed off of my biggest phobias, and that was not a great experience. But for the most part, like 90% of the time that I read Junji Ito, I have an incredible time, and I love how I feel when I'm reading his stories, even though they're like, oh my god, like the most horrifying and disgusting and like terrifying stories that I have ever laid my eyes upon. But he is genuinely so artistically gifted, and he is, I don't know, like I just love getting a glimpse into his mind. It's insane. I love it. Fragments of Horror is one of the best ones. If you don't know where to start with Junji Ito, because obviously he has so much that you can choose from. If you don't know where to start, I would honestly really recommend that you start with Fragments of Horror or Deserter, which these two, not this again, these two are just a collection of short stories, but in my opinion, they hold some of his best works. And especially Fragments of Horror, it's like really short as well, so if you don't really want to, you know, read like a 300-page short story collection, you can go for like the 151. You're going to have an incredible time either way, and both of them are stunning in its horrifying aspects. I don't know, it's weird to call horror manga stunning, but I mean it. So there we go. Okay, so this is the very last shelf, and here we have a collection of shonen and shojo manga with a couple of Studio Ghibli films and the singular graphic novel. We also have like my Zelda games for some reason, because I just really love them and I thought that they would look really cool on display, so yeah, I did that. And I kind of like how this shelf looks. I know it doesn't really make that much sense to have my shonen so close to my shojo, but like it works for me, okay? And yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. Like, I just love it, okay? And I do have Dr. Stone on display because it's a recent gift, again from Mary. I'm currently watching the anime and I'm currently loving it. And yeah, I'm just having like a good old time with anime and manga in general lately, and I love it. I love the time that I'm having with these animes. Those are all of my shelves, literally, in its entirety. I have spoken about every single shelf, every single silly, goofy story that I may share with you guys has been shared. This is just another general overview of all of my shelves. Absolutely stunning. Love you so much, baby girl. Like, you bring me so much happiness. I can't believe I just called you baby girl. In case anybody ever wonders what books I have here on my wall, on my wall. These are just like annotated books that I have, and I thought they would look better here than on my shelves. So if you're ever wondering what these books are, I thought I would show you. On this pile, we have Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. This is book 1. I never continued the series, even though I really enjoyed it. This is Nevernight, my original copy before I got the hardcover edition. And then also the God's Grave edition, which is the only one that I have because I could never find the hardcover edition of God's Grave. And then we have the Brothers Karamazov here. This is a book that I'm probably, you know what I mean? So yeah, we don't have to speak about that book on my channel ever again. It's just a book that I read and experienced. And then up here we have Sense and Sensibility, this gorgeous cover that was actually a gift from one of you guys, and I adore it. It does have like this white thing that really annoys me. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it's a thing that I have to live with, but it's okay. It's still a pretty good book. And then I think this is the Sylvia Plath journals. Yeah, the unabridged journals of Sylvia Plath. These were very depressing, not gonna lie. Like, I learned a lot about me and Sylvia while I read this book. It was very sad. And then the last book here is The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson. Another great experience. I wouldn't say Emily Dickinson is one of my favorite poets, but I do love how she sees the world, so there's that. And yeah, I thought I would show those books to you guys in case you're ever wondering what those books are. So those are my bookshelves, how they are looking right now. I am so excited to see how they're going to change, how they're going to evolve the more that 2024 goes by. And I am so excited to share that whole journey with you guys. So I really hope you enjoyed this bookshelf tour. Once again, if you have any suggestions or any ideas, please leave them down below because I'm always looking for ways to upgrade and just make my bookshelves look better. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to your comments. I really, once again, hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It really helps my channel out, and it helps me know that you guys enjoy the videos that I'm working on, which just makes me feel really good about myself. So I would really appreciate that. I also have a Patreon where I post exclusive content. I host readathons, reading sprints, and a monthly book club. We are currently reading Heart of Stone, and it's a very interesting book that I am very excited to do a reading vlog about. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, the link is down below. As always, I would love to have you join my army of premium simpers. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed, and if you made it until the end, I just wanted to let you know that I am so extremely proud of you for making it until today. Like, yeah, we did that. Who would have thought? Not me, but we're here, and I'm really proud of us for that. So I hope you're having a fantastic day, and even if you're not, hopefully this video brought a little smile to your face, or it made you forget for just a little bit of all your trials and tribulations. So anyways, I will definitely be seeing you guys next week. I love you all so very much, and yeah, bye.
Hey Jimmy, you nice, keep going.